Well, there you have it. I hope you didn't miss that part where they say a serving member of the National Assembly. What a mouthful that is. Man, the debate is out there already. I don't know if you heard it. Those who are saying should they have been paraded, should they not have been paraded. But at the moment, well, yes, most people say thumbs up to the SSS, but there's a but. Where do we go from here? How should we proceed in handling this? Because, I mean, there are those who are responding on Twitter already. You have to put your foot down, government, and do what you have to do. How would you suggest to take it from here then?
No, I think they know what to do. The security services know what to do. It's not every aspect of their tradecraft and their work that will be discussed publicly. I think it should suffice that we, from that story, appreciate them. It must have taken a lot of work to get to that point where they're able to establish some link between such a key suspect and some other individuals. But there's a process. We're a country of laws. They'll probably do some further investigation, and maybe if there's sufficient grounds, they'll go to court.
Yeah, but pardon me, but skeptics predicating it on perhaps what my colleagues highlighted. Remember the former leader, how he was shot, and now you have the spokesman. If they're skeptical about it, saying we hope what happened previously will not happen again, don't they have a grounds to be skeptical a little bit at least?
Do you honestly think that somebody will just wake up and shoot this individual? In any case, as far as I know from reading in the media, certain persons are being tried for the killings of the former leader. There's a process in court. People are undergoing trial. So it tells you that there's a system in place that won't let people get away with impunity.
Last time that SSS spokesperson was here, Marilyn Oga, she did mention a scenario. I'm taking you back to the issue of trust, because it is very important, and it seems that we cannot, if we begin to create a dichotomy between the people and security agencies are supposed to be serving the people, and the people are supposed to cooperate with them. If we cannot draw these two things together or begin to put a line, then we really have a very big problem in our hand. She was talking about a scenario whereby security agencies or security agents were being attacked in broad daylight, and some people on the other hand were clapping and cheering. It's a picture that hasn't left my head, and I'm wondering, how did we ever get there?
Yeah. Okay, that's the point that we try to make about the need for us as a society to build unanimity of consensus on how we deal with security issues. And that's the point I keep making about us celebrating and applauding the people who put their lives on the line to protect us. I think it is the most unpatriotic thing to do for anybody, for any reason, to celebrate anybody's attack on a security agent. It doesn't. What good does it do for us? Okay. You see, those who wear our uniforms or serve as our nation's security in some other capacities do so as a token of our collective will to protect ourselves. So listen, communities must rise up and condemn that kind of conduct. It is reprehensible. It's not tolerable in any society at all.
Yeah, it would seem like an aberration. I mean, it's not normal for anybody to see anybody being killed anywhere for no just cause and be rejoicing. It's not normal. It's absolutely not normal. So I would think that there are some reasons. If truly that was the case, that there would be some reasons, and how do we begin to leave them? Are we going to just ignore it and say that's truly unpatriotic and leave it at that and hope that we can move forward from there? Or do you think we should be looking at the reasons why things like that happen so we can begin to truly move forward from there?
Well, I don't have the details of that particular incident, but again, there are leaders in those communities. One would expect that they will speak up and condemn such acts. It's probably not the whole community that came out to clap. I don't think so. Just a few individuals came out to clap, and so there are deviants in every community. But what we must not do is to allow the voice of the silent majority remain silent. Those of us who appreciate the work that the security services do, despite whatever shortcomings we might observe, must have a responsibility to speak up. Sometimes silence is not just golden. I think
perhaps,
that's not such a case.
Perhaps maybe you just tell us a thing or two why we shouldn't be on their necks. Maybe sometimes everyone is breathing down on the security operatives. As being someone who's been there, done that, what do you think we should be doing? How can we assist away from information that we give to them? How can we assist in this whole fight against terror?
I think apart from giving information and intelligence where we have it, is to show understanding. We need to show understanding. That means we need to exercise some patience. I do not like it when I have to be in traffic for much longer than I anticipated because of a security checkpoint. But I understand that is necessary because that is for my security. I would rather stay, and I'm sure most people would rather stay in traffic for 3 hours extra than to run into an incident that takes off your limb. That is the harsh reality. You would rather do that. So we need to show understanding. We need to show support. When people have access to the public space, it is not always the case that we want to satisfy whatever it is by just lampooning the security agencies. Because we must understand that these are people, human beings like me and you. If try trekking for 8 hours, just trek on your own for 8 hours. Then imagine a man who wears gear, combat gears, and is on patrol for several hours. And imagine how you feel. And imagine that the purpose for which you did that trekking exercise, somebody just told you, my friend, you just wasted your time. Well, so it's physically tasking, it's mentally demanding. I do understand that because we do not have a culture of many years of compulsory military service in societies where people understand what it is to be in the front lines. Nobody is asking that people should not criticize the work of the security agencies. Obviously, the security agencies benefit from the critique that they get from the rest of society. Like you said, we must keep that sense of partnership. One of the greatest things that the insurgents or terrorists will want to attack is the sense of community that holds us together on two fronts. One, to create a sense of division on either ethnic or religious or other social lines, or create a kind of a sense of divide between the security agencies and the rest of society, a kind of us versus them syndrome. Okay. And we must not allow that to happen. We must keep united and keep that strong sense of partnership. I think that is the most important ingredient that we need to defeat the challenge that we face right now.
Let's draw some inference from those who face this kind of challenge and perhaps also tackling it in their own way. The U.S. Patriot Act 2001. I mean, you saw the way they came up, they crafted it. I mean, I think it was in May 2011 where President Obama signed extending some 4 key areas to strengthen it. That was just brought up to intercept, acting in terms of terrorism. Now that we have this parade, the papers are awash with names, as a matter of fact, that those who ask, are we even doing enough from the point of law? Because if we had an act like the U.S. Patriot Act, some of these guys would have been picked up by now, not waiting for a long process. And before you know it, they hide evidence or tamper with evidence, as it were.
We have our own Anti-Terrorism Act. It's just a few months old. I think we need to operate it for some time. I am also confident that where changes or amendments are necessary, the National Assembly is up to the task. But again, that is part of the community consensus that we talk about. Where we feel that because of the outcome of certain ongoing operations, if there are defects in the conduct, either from the side of the security agencies or from the rest of society, if we need to strengthen our act in any aspect, obviously, we have a National Assembly, they are representative of the people. The people can also channel inputs through their representatives and senators, and let's have the amendments necessary to strengthen the fight against terrorism in our country.
Okay, then we're going to have to leave it here. I'm just looking at the comments just streaming in through Twitter. They just want some affirmative action. They don't want to hear that this politician has been let off the hook or the court process is taking 3 years, as it were. These are legitimate concerns.
Yeah, but again, the prosecution, if you think of in terms of the criminal judicial action that needs to be taken, if it does come to that, that's not within the remit of the law enforcement agencies.
But do the security agencies worry about the fact that ethnicity may pop up when they are planning to put their foot down?
That is the point about community consensus. We must rise above the tendency to think this man was picked because he was from here or from there. Anybody, regardless of his ethnicity, religion, creed, or other persuasion, who attacks our common safety must be viewed as an enemy of all of us. And that is the message that I think we can't stress enough. All of us must come to that point. We must forge a culture, a coherent culture of a unanimous response when it comes to security. And that includes avoiding the temptation to exploit security incidents